bought it off of eBay, so I'm not sure.
They just sent you a book full of blank pages.
That would be unfortunate. Just the cover and blank pages. Alright, so it doesn't smell bad. My first AD&D Player's Handbook smelled like a basement. It smelled pretty bad. Alright, so yeah, they did mention that they colored the first page, so that's always all colored up. It's not too bad. Not a terrible job, actually.
No?
They highlighted some things in here. But so far, oh my god, there's a lot of highlights. I guess like to help out with understanding what goes to what. Like number one is right here, that block. Number two is in here, three, four, five, and so on. So this guy definitely knew what he was doing when he was running the game, I guess. But I wouldn't have highlighted like every fucking thing. Like what the hell? Might as well just leave it. Oh well. So far, it's got every page.
Gives you something to read while you're got downtime.
Yeah, I'll double check it, make sure it's got everything. The treasure tables. That's where your guys' treasure is. Alright, it's not it's not in the worst of shape. Could be a lot worse. So pretty happy about that. Just the first few pages are like covered in highlight marker. He highlights like important notes, I guess. The DM and players do not play against each other. The DM must not take sides. So he wrote something here. First, see if you. Hmm?
Me too.
First, see if you turn the undead. Then, for how much hit dice does the undead monster have? 6 hit dice. Well, he just wrote like a short description. How did you turn undead? All right. Yeah, this is good. Did not disappoint. I probably will buy a second copy that I can just mess up. If I get a better copy, I probably will mess that one up since it's already kind of messed up at the front. But we'll see. This one here is like falling apart. It's been passed through so many players' hands, and they always mess it up. And I guess I wasn't treating it that well either. But this was a limited edition OSC book. Probably should have bought like a normal one and a good one that I just kept safe. But it's oh well. I gotta enjoy it at least. So. Yeah, I gotta tape it up because like the whole thing is like falling apart now. It's been in a lot of places, like the field, in the swamps, yeah, at the beach.
Yeah, I'm thinking about buying like the digital copies of the books.
That'll be a lot safer. All right, is everyone back? Grim. All right, awesome.
Get your get your milk.
Yes, sir. I was waiting for the kettle to boil right now. So, but you like cheers? Cheers. Sorry about
All right, we left off with your party just finished a combat against some snakes. They looted some treasure, and then they were figuring out whether to continue deeper or to withdraw, right, from the dungeon. So we did end up snatching a purse of coin. I think that was thanks to um, Eden.
Thanks to me for what?
You found a pouch of coins.
Oh yeah, patch of coins and uh, corpses, bag of corpses.
Indeed.
Bag of snakes.
Alright, so someone's carrying a bag of snakes. I think that's Bran, the veteran. But Eden, the footpad, you've just acquired some coins. Would you like to figure out how much is in there
Sure,
as you guys
and I'll
rest?
do it in full view. I'll do it in full view of everyone, so nobody feels left out.
Okay, so you kind of dump the contents and begin counting the coins out as you rest from that combat and figure out what to do from here. You count a total of 300 copper pieces and you count 10 silver pieces.
Hmm, that's about 40 silver total, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not the worst. Could be could be better, but let's see.
Might make some off the snakes too.
Yeah, and those skulls I think are probably worth about 10 silver a piece, or five. I forget.
Something like that, yeah. Two skulls. Alright. We got some items too. Picked up some weapons, which could be worth some money. Some armor, if you're willing to sell it. Otherwise, let's keep hunting for treasure. That's where most of the value is for weight wise. Armor and weapons are heavy and not as valuable as treasure naturally. Alright. So you've had some time to rest. It's currently turn 3 now. How would you like to continue? There's a chamber to your north. I can describe what you can see from there. So far, let's see.
the other chambers.
Corliss will remain at the area that like in a. She wants to be able to see into the room that's going to be explored next, but not be inside of it.
Okay. Alright, so north of you, you can see there's a 10-foot chamber, and it appears to be empty. You can see a stone pillar in the center. That's about it. To the west, you will see, explore westward beyond the chamber you're currently at. It is also empty. And
Wait, wait.
sorry, what was it?
You said the chamber to the west of us is empty.
Pretty much.
And to the
There's
north.
one table in there. That's pretty much it.
So, and both of these are 10-foot squares.
10 foot, indeed.
Can we see exits from those rooms?
Not really. It's too dark still. You can only see about 10 feet ahead.
And the tables in the west room?
Yes, there's a shield-sized table in the center of the western chamber.
Why don't we go check out those other hinged panels? There could be more treasure.
There's one more
Okay.
exit from here to the south that you haven't checked out, but you saw snakes come out from there earlier.
Yeah.
Let's go check where the snakes come from, because they could have taken stuff back to kind of nest.
So to clarify, you're saying that we could see that there were no exits from the west and north rooms, or that we just couldn't
You
see?
just couldn't see as far. It
Okay.
was too dark. Unless you enter and look in with your torch, then you
Yeah.
could.
Let's go look through the southern door then.
The southern one has a pillar so far. Looks empty otherwise.
A pillar,
Yeah,
and
a
it
stone
is
pillar.
also 10 by 10.
Indeed. Shall we explore to the south? Careful
Yeah.
observation and movement southward.
No, I think we want to go back to the east and go north and check the hinged planks in the north door, in the north room.
Okay.
North.
Because there could be treasure.
Alright.
I like north.
So you're now moving east back to the stairs and then north into a chamber with another wooden platform about 5 foot by 5 foot with hinges. Very similar to the last one you opened up. It is indeed another trapdoor here.
Are there any exits from this room?
As you explore inside, you can see that there is an exit to the north and an exit to the west. They're both 3 foot wide archways, about 7 feet tall each.
All right. I'll tap the doors to see if anything pops out. Use my pole.
Tap tap, nothing happens.
All right. I'm gonna use the pole to grab one of the handles and pull the door open.
It's stuck.
Wardell try to force it open.
No, let me try the other door first. Again, using my pole.
It opens.
All right. Shine the light down there. See anything?
Yes, you see that there's a very thick black substance.
Ew.
That's it.
Okay, Wardell, knock yourself out.
Oh no, I'm gonna open up that door all the way.
I'm gonna be nowhere near the knife.
Yeah, I'm backing up.
Observing from the other chamber, the previous
I'm
chamber.
backing out way.
It looks like it's all flaky and thick and rubbery looking. So the party is mostly falling back to the previous chamber, but Wardell's moving forward to explore this, search it.
Oh, I was just wanting to open up the door,
Oh,
see if
open
anything happened.
the other
The one
door.
that's the other door.
I'll stay close enough to provide light.
He
That's the
forces it
extent of my
open
involvement here.
easily, making some noise, but not enough to attract the monster. Alright, both doors are open, and what's revealed now is a 5 foot by 5 foot pit with a black substance, and poking out of the substance here and there. The substance looks almost solid, somewhat slimy, but there are things poking out of it like bones and metallic objects, and even some cloth here and there. Like burnt looking cloth, tattered cloth. And it smells burnt. It smells like tar, and rubber, and fire and smoke.
Hmm.
What do you guys want to do?
Is there another trapdoor thing to open?
To the
There's
south,
also
yeah.
two other exits from here, west and north.
Okay, check the trap door for the south.
You want to go to the south chamber and check that one? There's a trapdoor
Yeah.
there as well.
Okay, go.
Okay, so two of you are headed south, one of you are observing north, and some of you are in the chamber with the stairs, observing either way.
Yeah, observing for Cordis.
How many more turns do we have with the torch that's lit right now?
Well, it's about turn 3.5. You have 6 turns per torch. So at turn 7, these torches will die. So we're a little less than halfway through them. To the south, there's another trap door. It is closed. There are two exits, one to the west, one to the south. They're just open archways, 3 foot wide, 7 feet tall. It's another 10 foot by 10 foot square chamber that you're entering. That's for the party to the south. Um, and then Eden and Orden was still kind of northward. Corliss, did you say you wanted to go with the party going south, or do you want to stay with the first party?
Oh, I did not, I guess, realize the party was splitting. I'll support the two going forward by observing the room.
The ones going south, or the ones
The
going
ones
north?
going north.
Yeah.
No,
No, everybody's going south.
Oh, okay.
everyone's going south.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
We're keeping the party together. We don't want you rolling for random encounters twice.
all right then. So two parties become one again, and they're starting to make their way south toward another trapdoor. The first ones to observe it are Darius and Bran, since they were the first ones to go that way. But then soon you can resume your natural marching order, your normal marching
Alright.
order.
I'll do my tap tap thing again with the paw.
You tap on the doors, nothing happens.
I'll
Carefully
try to
observing the
open the
chamber.
doors with my I'll try to open the doors with my paw.
Alright, poking at the handles, you try to lift either door. camera is stuck on those dice right there. Trying to get it to zoom out. There we go. Okay. Unlike some referees, I do tend to roll my dice openly. I find it more enjoyable. I know it takes away from some of the mystery, but it is how I like to do it. I think it keeps it fair. Or more scary too sometimes. Okay, so you can see that both doors are stuck in this area.
Mm.
There's also
Or
two
I will
exits from
open
here.
them.
Wardell
Or
open?
force one of them.
Okay. So as Wardell opens one, someone else can open the other one at the same time. Therefore, there's you can try to get both doors open with one chance for Wonder Monsters, or you can do it
Darius,
one at a time.
Or, yep, absolutely, I'll take the other one.
White will be Wardell, red is Darius. Darius has a 3 in 6 chance, Wardell has a 2 in 6 chance. They both failed. Wandering Monster check. Nothing was heard after the noise that they made.
yeah, guys, switch doors.
Okay.
Okay.
At this point, it is
Switch
now turn 4. So, because it's turn 4, throughout the turn, maybe halfway through, I will check for a Wandering Monster check. Or Wandering Monsters approaching. But, whether they get there on the same turn or not depends on the distance, of course. Okay, so they'll be moving at their own encounter rate as well, like you guys are. So that means if there are two far groups or maybe one close, one far, you might even get sandwiched between two different groups of monsters. Sometimes that could happen.
No.
All right. Anyway, this place is kind of nice because everything's open, but at the same time, there's so many exits they have to watch for. Let's see. So after you got the doors, try to get the doors open. Do you want to try again or move on?
Yep.
Yeah, they can just switch doors.
Trying again. All right. Darius got his open this time. Wardell failed. Okay.
Your camera keeps zooming in
Yeah, there's
randomly.
nothing I can really do about this camera. I'll have to get a new one. Trying to focus on something. Yeah, I'll give it a miniature to look at. Alright. So, would you like to attempt again or just look inside? So far, as you look into this one, you can see that there's another skeletal remain. But it's at the center instead of off to the side, so you can't reach it unless you go in.
Can I drag it out with a pole?
You could,
Does
yeah.
it look like it has any etchings on its head? Or does it?
Etchings
Markings, etchings, clips.
on the bones. It's hard to tell from this distance. It's just some
Wardell will
old
jump in,
yellow bones.
foot to the skull.
Jump into the pit.
Yeah, with a foot to the skull.
Alright. As soon as you jump in, right, the floor depresses and spikes shoot out. 1 foot long spikes shoot out. They're all evenly spaced about 1 foot apart. And your foot gets caught on one and takes 4 damage.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Alright, you're down to 0 hit points. So we're gonna make a saving throw versus death.
I'm gonna go over there and try to help him. I'm gonna be like, here, let me get that for you. I'm gonna cut his purse.
Alright, let's get this to zoom out. Here's your saving throw versus death. You jump into a pit, it was trapped. Natural 1. So,
Okay.
his pit is, or his foot, is bleeding pretty bad. I don't think anyone can die from a foot trap though, so I'm gonna say it's subdual. So as long as right now you step on it, you're disabled. You are collapsed in the ground, and subdual damage. I'm gonna say it's gonna. This is a trap, so it's gonna. You're definitely gonna survive it if you can stop the bleeding. We'll say, but you definitely lost your
Where
foot. The spike basically severed your whole foot, at least one of your foot. So you're now a disabled adventurer. Um,
oh,
half of,
What
or
if
yeah, it's split off one of your foot. Um, you can choose which foot is
right foot? Because that's the one that I was going down onto the skull.
Alright, so you jumped in there and your left foot got lucky, but your right foot not so much. A spike went right through it, basically severed it, right? It's like the spike is about a few inches thick. It's like as thick as a spear pole, right? But it's all metal instead of wood. A wooden shaft, it's a metal shaft, and of course the very top of it is very, very, very pointy and sharp. And went right through your foot, and basically cut off your foot. There's a big hole in your foot now. Your foot is barely hanging in there. Um, so yeah, he's in there. He's standing on it, probably about to collapse. You guys can reach for him and try to keep him from falling on more spikes if you want.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
And we're
Well,
entreating Peldun to see if there's anything he can do, like
Baldoon sees this. He's kind of in shock at the sight of this. Wardell seems like a mighty fighter, and that's also his employer. So it must make a morale check. All right. That's a score of 8. What is your charisma, Wardell?
Oh, I think I have. It's like 12. I think.
All right. So the morale would be 7.
Yeah, I have a.
But because there has been good treatment, we'll say the morale is +1. So he barely hangs in there, but he will remain uh, ready to help his dying employer. So,
Uh, well,
uh,
if they pull me out, I'm gonna call for a torch to cauterize the to keep it from bleeding out.
they pull you out of the pit off the spike, and as they do this, of course, they do it in some haste, and the other half of your foot peels off, right? So as they tug on you and pull you free, so the other half of your foot is still in there, and blood spurts out from your open wound. Uh,
Do you want me to tie a rope around it so I can
Tourniquet.
like? Uh huh.
yeah,
Yeah,
Jingle.
and bring a torch, cauterize it.
I'm gonna boost your
That
morale by
more.
taking your purse in my hand and saying and promising I will get this to your family.
Bring that back.
For sure, for sure. That's a heavy pouch. He was close to level 2. Alright.
Cauterizing, cauterizing might do more damage to me.
So,
Anyway, he
anyway,
wants it. So
someone
But
takes out
if
some
I
rope
do
and
it,
basically tourniquet his foot. Blood spurts still, and someone prepares to cauterize the wound with a torch that could severely burn him, or will severely burn him as you heat up that part of his foot, and cook it until it burns to a crisp, pretty much, and stops bleeding. It's gonna be a lot of pain, and his body could go into shock. Do you want to take that risk, or do you just want to tourniquet his leg?
let's just tourniquet for now, and then maybe, hopefully, if I live through this, I get some treatment in town.
Mm-hmm.
Peg leg.
You can live to tell a tale,
Yeah.
become an NPC, and you play your next character. He can inherit something, whatever you can give him. So, all right. So the famed Wardell, so close to level 2, um, famed among level 1s at least, um, has seen a career-ending injury on his foot now. Let's see. The rest of you try to help him. Looks like Eden is holding your purse at the moment. You can't do much to help that. Um,
doing the most to help him.
and how will we want to continue? This man can barely stand now, so do we want to escape the dungeon while we can? There's still the skeletal remains on the trap. The trap is resetting, by the way.
Yeah, I'm
Is
gonna
there?
try and drag the skeletal remains out with my pole.
Alright? As soon as you put any kind of pressure on there, the spikes shoot back up and keep the body or the skeletal remains from moving much.
Oh, I'm not gonna try and touch the pressure pad. I'm gonna just gonna try and hook the bones and drag it.
the
Okay.
skeleton is what's holding the pressure pad, or it's setting it off.
So it looks like the weight of the bones don't cause it to trigger, but any additional weight, any additional pressure on the pressure plate would probably cause the spikes to shoot up, right? But
Yeah, well, I'm not doing that. I'm just hooking the bones from the side and pulling the bones out to where we can lift them out.
very well. You drag the bones toward you carefully and cleverly, right? Not to touch the. You, you were careful not to touch the pit trap itself or the pressure plate down there. And you got the bones off to the north side where your party is currently positioned. As this was
Okay,
happening,
I'm
was
trying.
anyone taking a different action? Perhaps Bran or Corliss were on guard, or perhaps searching the rest of the chamber, or looking beyond. That way,
Just on guard.
okay. Corliss is on guard. Bran's on. Bran, what's your action?
Okay, search the rest of the chamber.
Mm-hmm. Bran searches. Are you detecting trap? Are you detecting new construction? Are you detecting secret entry? Or just looking for loot? Anything you want to observe for in particular?
Secret entry.
Very well. And is there a particular wall you want to check, or floor, or ceiling?
Um,
Character can search a 10 foot by 10 foot area in 10 minutes for any hidden features.
can I try and do that?
Yep, so which 10 foot by 10 foot area though? Would you like to check like the floor, the east wall, the south wall, the north, the west, the ceiling?
Just just the north wall.
The north wall? Keep in mind the north wall is not much, right? It's 10 foot wall, but it's got an exit here, 3 foot wide exit. So there's, if you think about it, right? Think about this logically. Use your imagination skills at this point. You have a 10 foot wall. There's a chamber that you came from behind it, and you're in this chamber, right? If you search for a secret entry, where would that secret entry lead, right? If there's already a
The
door
only
here,
way it would go is the east. East wall then.
right? So that's why D&D is a game with the imagination. You must be able to imagine the situation. Search the wrong wall, you might just waste your time, right? So let's see. You're searching that east wall, which has no exit, right? So check that one out for a turn. See what you find. In the meantime, Darius, you're the one that has just finished securing the wound on Wardell. You've tourniqueted his right foot. The bleeding is slowing down, and he's gonna live.
I'll just keep watch or just make sure, like I said, there's anything comes by, and then I'll turn.
Okay, so you're on guard as Eden continues to explore the area as well as Bran. Unfortunately, Wardell, there's not much you can do in your condition. You're at one hit point, and you have a missing right foot now.
I would kind of hop, crawl, something over back to the stairs that we came down on, and find a seat.
Sure. Yeah, you start to crawl back northward, or like limp over there as best you can. All right.
I'm gonna try and lift the skeleton out with my paw.
So you got the
But
bones
before
out
I do
now.
that, I'm gonna get my coin purse back from her while she's busy playing with the skeleton.
And the skeleton's been lifted from the pressure plate. You see the pressure plate. It just ever so slightly rises, but doesn't trigger.
Okay.
And you've obtained your loot now. So you drag the bones up to your side of the chamber at this point, and you can see Brandon is still in the middle of searching that eastern wall. So did not take you a whole turn actually to drag the bones out of there and pull them out. You can start looting
Do
them
I?
if you would like.
Yeah. Is there anything of note in the
So the
bones?
bones are only connected by web and cloth. Most of the bones you were dragging out started to fall apart, and actually some of the bones are still in the pit. But none of those bones are exactly important. The main body, the torso, is what you actually pulled out, with a few ribs and the hip bone and such. The limbs all kind of fell apart. The skull is also still in there, but you got the main body. And at the waist of this robed body is indeed another pouch.
Yay, check it.
Alright. This pouch does not contain coins.
Does it contain anything?
It does, in fact. It contains a round glass, not glass, yes, glass. A round glass bottle. You pull it out.
Is there a potion in it?
There's a slightly glowing, you think, you're not sure, because there's already torchlight, but it's a very bright blue liquid.
Hey, Corliss, what do you think this is?
Uh.
Not a potion?
Does it happen to be a potion that restores blood?
Yeah, really. Why don't we let
It seems quite
Cordell take
thick
a
as
sip?
well.
Thick, huh?
It'd be hard to
Cordell,
drink
you
it.
want to take a sip of this and see if it helps you?
Sure.
Wardell went back to the. Oh.
Yeah, we going over another room now.
He's north of you at the stairs, so he's calling out from the previous chamber, about 10 to 15 feet away from your party.
Yeah. Go in
Alright.
there and say, hey, do you want to take a sip of this? See if it helps you.
Sure. Wardell, I'll take a sip.
The brave
See
Wardell
what
has a
happens.
sip. Alright. And Wardell, it's really sick. As soon as it touches your mouth, um, your whole body begins to buzz a little bit, and uh, you can feel like it begins to immediately like evaporate like cotton candy when you drink it in your mouth.
Oh,
Um,
gaseous form. Way to go.
Oh, that's cool.
yes, he
Yeah,
starts
you can
to
make company.
his mouth starts to like fade a little bit almost, right? Like it gets all smoky and cotton candy like.
All right, why don't we
Would
let
you
Corliss hang on to that for now?
But
would you
the
happen to
effects don't last very long.
Yeah. It was just a sip, that's fine.
Too many sips and it might not work anymore.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, I'll hand it over to whoever it was that wanted it.
Corliss.
Maybe your
She just
air
has
can
room in
take
her
it.
bag.
Since you tested it, maybe your air can take it. You know, when they come back, when you come back as your air.
That's typically how things are done. If you have a unidentified potion, whoever tastes it to identify it gets to choose what happens with it, whether they want to keep it or give it to someone else.
Do you want to hang on to it for your air?
Sure, in my money pouch.
Very well. Eden has it.
I promise you, if you die on the way back, I will do everything I can to get your possessions to your family.
I'll keep it with me now.
Okay.
I'm gonna take everything else off you. That's all.
All right, I'm gonna go back in the north room real quick. Just kind of gently nudge the metal part sticking up out of the sludge and see what happens. Use my pole.
All right. So you guys, you going
That's what
together
I
as a
was really
party or?
curious about.
Okay, so Wardell's curious about it. He's making his way in there too. After the rest, is the whole party going in there, or are we splitting, or how's that going?
Well, Wardell will probably make his way back up to, because he's not much help, being all one-footed and everything.
You can wait at the stairs, I suppose. You can still shoot a weapon, if you want.
Okay, yeah, I'll wait at the. I have my bow, so yeah, I'll sit at the stairs with my bow.
All right. So Wardell waits at the stairs. Eden's making her way north. Brown, what's your action?
Let's try and search north and get me some
Oh,
ultra.
that's right. Let me see if you found anything in the meantime. So far, it's just you're uncertain. After 10 minutes of observation on the east wall, nothing was found. You can keep searching it if you want, if you think there might be a chance still. Or you can move on. try a different wall or regroup with the party.
They try like a different wall. Maybe try the one in the north room on the east. I'll do that.
Okay. In the meantime, Darius, what is your action?
I will follow the party in and investigate the black ooze.
Okay, so you're with Eden and Corliss.
With Eden.
Okay, the three of you, the four of you make your way in there, but Bran quickly splits way, not too far, just checks to that eastern wall, east of the pit, or the yeah the pit that you've opened up here. One or two trapdoors are open at this point. You can see the black sludge of sorts, the tar. It seems solid, glossy and slimy here and there. And you see metal bits poking out, and she starts to poke at them. And the first one that she pokes at appears to be the head of an arrow. And
Hmm.
another one looks like a bit of a helmet. Hmm, looks pretty thick, all this tar. Unless you could heat it up and move it, you couldn't really do much. You poke at the metal bits here and there, but they all are just the tips and ends of various metal scraps, metal objects. But bones
Throw in
stick
a
out.
torch.
You want to?
We don't have time for this. We'll aggro too much crap trying to do this with a torch. We need like flaming oil for this. And it just seems like it's nothing seems particularly valuable. So it's just weapons and armor, right?
Yep. Weapons and armor. You see a bit of a mail halberd, a bit of a rusty helm, the hilt of a sword. That's about it. Looks like someone got buried in the tar and was burned alive, maybe, or something. So one set of bones, and then all his remains, or his worldly possessions, were burned with him.
Yeah, all right. I think we should probably get out of here.
Okay.
Anyone else?
How
On
far
board with
down?
leaving.
On
How
board?
far down is the hilt of that sword?
Uh, you can only see half of the hilt of the sword. Half of the handle sticks out.
Oh,
The
okay.
it's all rusty as well and black,
Nah, that's fine.
but it looks cruel. It has a wicked looking design, not your standard pommel. It's all rough and jagged at the end. All right, then we're gonna make our way out.
I mean, if it were magical, it wouldn't be rusty, right?
Fair.
In my game, magic weapons will still break, so
Yeah.
they're not.
Could be
Um,
magic sword. Could be a magic sword. I'm just saying.
and rust can be removed, but just like in Lord of the Rings, magic weapons still break. Here, they're not
Magic
indestructible.
weapons can break. Can they rust? Elvin?
If they can break, they can probably rust too. So
But they
unless
can
it's
be
their magical
cleaned
property,
and reforged.
that's true.
All right.
Well,
Well,
if you
if you want to
reforge it, the
try
runes are
and
gone. So
if you want to try and work it, get it out of there with the torch, go ahead. I'm just gonna like
reforge, yeah,
stand back over here.
it can be
Can I
fixed.
use your pole?
What was that?
Can I use your pole to work it out?
It looks impossible to do at the pole. Again, it's in the tar. Unless you could melt the tar, cut it apart. There's no.
How far down is the tower?
Well, it's in a 1 foot deep pit. It's 5 foot wide by 5 foot. As for how far or down the tar will go, that is not. You're not certain. But
If I
given
got
the,
down on my stomach and reached into the pit, could I reach it?
it's near the center area, so you have to climb down to the pit first and then try to grab it, or walk into the five
Maybe
foot
we should
space.
like tie the torch to the pole and try to melt the tar first and see if it comes to life.
Yes. I like that.
All right,
Okay,
let's
we
do
have a
that.
torch. We have a torch that's about to run out. Just toss it.
Yeah, just quickly tie the torch that I have to my pole and stick it in there and see what happens when
Alright,
we
at this
apply it to
point,
the
it
tar.
is now turn. Uh, it's about to be turn 6 almost. It's 5.5 right now.
All right.
All is well.
Before you do that, let's get another torch lit up as well off of that one.
Well, they've got like maybe
Okay.
20, 30 minutes left with these torches that you currently have. So at
Okay.
the start of turn 7,
Well,
they'll just be about to die, but they won't be. They will die during turn 7, but not like just
we're
immediately.
sticking the one that's about to run out into the target, so we're kind of backup just in case.
Hmm.
Well, Ceres has a torch.
Yep, I have my torch. I'm standing nearby.
That's also about to. Yeah, so there's two. Alright, cool.
So whose torch do you guys want to secure to the pole?
I'll use mine.
Okay. You want to lower it down toward the skeletal remains or the sword?
The sword, yeah.
It's in the center area, about 3 foot from the edge of either side of the pit.
Okay. Yeah, it's tied to my pole, so I should be able to reach it
The
before I
flames
do the.
spurt upward though. You know they burn and flicker, and don't really touch much of the tar itself. But you try to drive the torch into the tar, try to heat it up, and you have to keep that torch moving, otherwise it will die. Um, so you lower it
Okay.
down and you kind of wave it over, trying to heat the area up. Does not do much because the heat goes upward.
Mm.
So unless you spilled oil there in the center and then lit
Yeah,
it
I
up.
think you might have to cut it free, or we'd have to come back with oil.
Yeah, I don't fancy doing anything like that though.
But it is a lot glossier than earlier though, at least. It's all slimy and glossy now. Where you touched.
But it's not coming to life or anything, so we know that now.
Hmm.
All right. I suggest we leave.
There's one thing we could try first. We could try driving the pole. So it, you said it's like a foot deep. You know that right?
It's the from the
Or
floor to the tar is a foot deep. Now for the tar
ah,
to how deep it goes, is unknown, right?
do you want to stick the pole in and see
I
how
think
deep it is?
the spear might work better. I have a spear. No.
Yeah, stick it.
Here, use my spear. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Knock yourself
So
out.
Eden, you have a
I'll
spear?
take a spear.
Wait, who's got a spear?
I do.
Oh, you do? Okay. You unsling your spear. You pass it over to Darius.
Yep.
All right. You begin prodding or stabbing at it, or
I like pushing the spear down into the ooze to see how far down it. See if it like with the length of the spear to see limit.
okay. So as you press down into the black sludge, eventually you're able to slice through the surface level. And as soon as the surface level is popped open, it becomes liquid underneath. And you see smoke coming out from the entry point of your
Run away,
incision.
run away.
Ah,
Uh, do you want to continue to drive it in there?
no.
Okay. So as you pull it out, you can't pull it out. You realize it's stuck in the sludge. It's really thick. You want to try to force the spear out or leave it?
Sorry, Edel, your spear is staying in the.
No, force it out. I love that spear. I sleep with it.
Sorry, Edel, you're
He's
staying in
leaving it.
there.
Would you like to try to get it, Eden?
If he can't pull it out, I can't.
He's not even trying. All right.
All right, I'll try. I'll try to pull it out. See
The
if I
rest of
can
you
do
want
it.
to fall back
I
or
don't want.
I'm never lending you anything again.
I don't want to rip the hole open anymore. That's why
the
I don't
whole
want to.
there's smoke coming out and now it's starting to spread with flame.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to do it.
Okay, I'm leaving.
Yeah, exactly.
So just that little hole right there that you made, the incision, causes it to burn up again. Something under it maybe might be cooking the tar. Only the surface was thick enough. But after cutting through it, it is now melting that area or cooking up melting the rest of the tar.
You know you owe me a spear now, right?
Yeah, I'll buy you another spear.
Yeah.
Alright, back toward the stairs then. That was an interesting encounter, I suppose.
Yep.
So are we leaving the dungeon? Going up the stairs?
Yeah.
Would you take a battle axe for compensation?
Eden?
I don't know. What?
He offers you a battle axe on
Would
the
you
way
take
up.
a battle axe as compensation?
No, I'm a spear girl.
Fine.
Alright, so you've made it up to the top of the stairs. You're back in the ruins, and then from here you can make your multiple trips across with your canoe, and then from there it
Wait,
can
how
be.
did I find the north wall?
Thank you for asking. Let's see. You found a loose brick. Not a secret entry, but you're tapping and searching, and you notice the loose brick, and you're able to pull it free.
What happens if I pull the brick free?
As you pull the brick free, inside you'll see a small pouch of coins. That's pretty much all there is.
Coincidence?
Someone stole their coins in this loose brick area. This was near the bottom. So you bag yourself some coins. You made use of yourself. So unlike standing on guard is definitely helpful, but if you already have enough people standing guards, someone's trying to get some profits, right? So you found yourself a pouch full of coins, and on the way up you can count them. Appears you have acquired a large pouch of copper. There's a total of 400. No wait, that's 900 coppers. 9 pounds of copper
Wow.
in the pouch.
90 silver.
Is that rusty spear still in the? I have
Uh,
a new. I have a new spear.
Alright then, so
What's
you've
that?
made your way out, all of you. Bran managed to bag himself a pouch of copper. Not bad for his first time. The dungeon. Wardell lost a foot. See, Eden bagged a coin of pouch, or a pouch of coins. Sorry, pouch of coins earlier as well, so not bad. Darius crushed some skeletons. We all try to help kill some snakes. Definitely not the best. Definitely not the worst run ever, right? It's a pretty decent run. You guys got out with some treasure, with a half casualty, I suppose. Um,
I'm riding my horse and I'm making the one guy carry the boat back.
all right. Yeah, there's they can carry it on foot. There's also another horse. I think Eden has a horse too, and
Yeah,
Darius.
I'm gonna let Wardell ride my horse if he doesn't have one.
Okay.
No, I have a horse. I just
Oh, okay.
He was using it for the canoe, so someone else should carry the canoe on their horse.
Well,
I
my
was
canoe is a courser, so it doesn't carry as much. He might ride my horse, and then if he has a draft horse, he can carry the canoe.
He does. He has a round C. So, all right then. That will be the setup then. On the way back, less than a day of travel, so no encounters on the way home. All right. Congratulations. You successfully survived a trip to the nearby tomb to the southeast. Yeah, first for some of you, their first run. That's our first time here in general to this area. But let's get some rest. Let's settle the treasure disputes and all that. Back in town, as you walk through the gates, the guards wave you in and take your weapons and congratulate you on surviving your adventure. You come back late in the afternoon. A hard day of work, risking your lives out in the wilderness. You come back with your bounties. You can trade in your skulls. You can trade in your snakes. Would you like to haggle for a price, or would you like to take a set, a normal price for them?
Normal.
Normal.
Okay.
Normal.
So for
I'm
your
joking. I'm joking.
all right, all right. Let's see. So um, it's your guys' choice in the end, of course. Um, you guys can discuss it, but we are going to just take a set price. It seems. You want to sell the two skulls. The temple offers 10 silvers for each skull. So for the skulls, you obtained. Let's see.
Last time somebody tried to haggle skulls, we got 2 silvers apiece,
Damn.
and he had a high charisma.
All right.
If you get 10 silver a skull, how many people live in this town? We can make some money.
It has to be a rune covered skull.
Magic runes that animate the undead. So let's see. So these ones are, got strange incantations within the skull. Alright. So you've just obtained your money from the skulls. It's 20 silver added to the party treasure. We'll split the treasure equally, I suppose, or let me count up the total amount in coins and then
What about
What about the snakes?
the snakes
snakes?
are next. They'll be sold in the markets. These are spitting cobras.
They're good eating.
They are okay eating. Um, some
But
people
it's the
prefer
venom
snake.
sacks probably that
Yeah,
are worth the most.
the venom snacks and the
Venom
skins.
snacks! Get your venom snacks!
Venom snacks. All right. So let's see. Each of those are worth 13 silvers each,
Ooh.
I believe. Let me double check. I'm pretty darn certain, but
And we had 15 pounds of them, and you said there were 3 pounds each, so we had 5 of them.
yes. So that should be a decent amount of money made. Let's see.
It's 65 silver.
It
Woo!
is 13 each. 65 total for all five. Let's see. So I'm gonna cross that off the list. At 65. Okay. And lastly, if you wish to sell any weapons or armor that was acquired in the dungeon, that's your chance to add it to the party treasure. Does anyone want to do that? Any normal items they want to try to sell for party loot? Usually that's just kept by whoever picked it up, because it's not treasure technically. It's just normal items. Lastly, there's the magic item dispute. That's gonna be, of course, claimed by whoever tasted it. So, and he can decide what to do with it from there. But at the end of the adventure, after your trip to the Blackened Tomb, you obtain a total of 300 coppers, 10 silvers, 900 coppers, 20 silvers, 65 silvers. I'll add that all up. One moment. Let me get a calculator. Oh, I forgot. I have one on my phone. Gotta pull up a computer's calculator. Let's see. Alright, so we got 30 silvers plus 10 silvers plus 90 silver plus 20 silver plus 65. That's 215 total. And if we were to divide it equally, there's 5 of you, so that helps. So equal splits mean everyone has earned 43 silvers for this adventure. Is that fair?
Well,
Yeah.
the retainers gotta get paid too.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, I was just about to say retainer.
Retainer gets a half share. So um, whether that is the half share of its employer or like a quarter share
I'll
of the
take
employer or the party's half share.
Yeah,
I'll take half of the retainer at least because I was definitely involved in bringing them in.
So what's most fair if typically, of course, if everyone has a retainer, then they will pay for that retainer on their own. But if the retainer is more of a party retainer, serving the party, not exactly one character in particular, that character might have managed them, but you know, wasn't exactly his owner or anything like that. Then you would do a party share, which would be fairer for everyone, right? Especially if the retainer served everyone. It was more of a not really a servant to one individual, but to the party. The other option is, of course, the employers, right, will pay for the retainer with their share. So, how would you guys like to do it? Do you think this guy should? Do you think whoever hired him should be responsible for paying him, or should the party be responsible for paying this retainer?
well, the guy that hired him is retiring, so maybe we should pay him as a party. That way,
Sure.
it can be loyal to us instead of to somebody who's not
Yeah.
here and not return.
Yep. That sounds good.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, so we'll give him a party share of 50% party share, a half share, and then there will be an extra half share left. You know, so that can either be split again evenly, or you can maybe give this to those who paid or who you think deserve more than the others, right? If you think someone deserves a little more, perhaps the people who found the treasure, perhaps the people who prepared the adventure, perhaps anyone you think outperformed the others, you can reward them with the extra treasure. You guys can decide. Otherwise, if you don't know if you think everyone equally did their part, I would recommend splitting it evenly. Um,
I'd say split it equally.
I agree. So basically, make it divide it into 10 shares, and everybody gets wait
we'll do
9 shares, 9 shares, and everybody gets a double share except the retainer.
I don't know, guys. I killed a lot.
that's your role, right? So
Sounds good. Okay.
let's see. Um, all right. So
It ran away a lot.
215 silvers. We'll do divided by
9.
I'll just do divided by 6 and then divide his share by 2 and give the other share to you guys. Or we can do divided by 9. And if we do divided by 9, that means each of you will get 2?
A double
No.
share.
If we divide by
Yeah.
if we divide by 9, that's 9 shares then. So he would get 1 and there will be 8 left and there's 5 of you. So that wouldn't
Oh,
work.
So
yeah.
you need
Divide
to
by
divide it by
11.
11.
Yeah, divide by 11.
Alright, divide by 11. Each of you get 2 shares and then he gets 1. So 215 divided by 11. Alright, so there's going to be a little extra left over. But he would get 19 and you guys would get 38. Let me see how that adds up. 38 times 5 plus 19 is 209, so there would be 6 left over. So, let's see. So again, he gets
Well, there's
19,
5 of us and 1 AM, so just
1 each
everybody
again.
gets one
Okay.
extra.
So he would get 20. So Bubbling gets 20 silver pieces. And everyone else gets 39 silver pieces.
Nice. 48. I'm I'm creeping up on level 3. You know,
Alright then.
one.
So, that'll wrap up today's game. You guys will be able to spend your treasure in during the week on XP or on equipment. We do prep at the start of games, but major prep should happen in between during the weekdays when we're not playing, of course. Because when you come to play, you should be ready to play. Of course, you should only have a few things to prep. After games, we like to
One more thing.
release you as soon as we
Can I
can.
re-roll a character this week
Yeah,
before I
throughout the week,
trade for the
that's
next
fine.
game?
Yeah.
Can I do one more thing and reclaim my torches from the people I passed them out to?
Yes, you may.
Corliss will return her torch.
So instead, you throughout the adventure, you only expended 2 torches. Then,
Yeah, so I get one back from Bran and one from Corliss.
all right. So I'll just note that down. Minus 2 torches for this adventure. Not too bad.
Puts me
Okay.
at puts me at 10 torches total.
All right then. Well done. All right. So for those who want to know if they did well, I would say yes, you did well. As long as you're making maybe 10% of what you need to level up, you're doing well. That means in 10 sessions you will level up, right? So the more silver you get, the better, of course, naturally. Um, for those who are fighters, you'll need 200 silver to level up. For the new magic user, yours is a little higher. You'll need 250 points of experience to level up. So 39 is not the worst. It's definitely actually more than what you needed for this adventure. I would say a good adventure for you means you get 25 silver per adventure. That means you're on track. So today you got 39, so that's good. Um, does anyone is anyone about to level up right now? Like, if that's the case, we can level up you in front of your friends. So it's more, fulfilling than leveling up with a bunch of strangers.
My new spear's about to level up.
Ah, how much is a spear?
What about the spear that was in the boat?
Yeah, you can just repair that one. I
uh,
guess.
How much is a dwarf spear?
Wardell's using that as like a crutch.
All right. Well, new
How
spear
much
would
is
be
a
3 silver, so
spear?
I'll just deliver 3 of your share to her. So you would get
Yep.
36 and she would get
Mm-hmm.
42.
I'll just go ahead and put a spear on my thing. How about that?
Okay, that's
You want
fine.
me to buy
Just
a spear right now?
just
Okay.
remind me if I forget next game. But I'll note it down too on my sheet.
Okay.
Not the character sheets. I'm just using a notepad to note it down, so it's quicker. But
What
Yep.
I'm really doing is I'm not scratching out my spear.
I have everything
okay,
in notepad.
good to go. But yeah, that will be it for today's game. Thank you everyone for playing, showing up to this weekend's game. I know we didn't have a lot of games this weekend, but you still made it, so thank you. And I hope to see you at the next one. Have a good rest of your day. Take care.